Department of Plant Pathology, Junagadh Agriculture University, Junagadh. And firstly, I would like to welcome all the participants who are joining with us on the fourth day of 21 Days International Training Program. So today I'm very glad and it's a matter of pleasure for me to welcome and introduce today's our speaker, Dr. S.R.K. Singh, sir, Director ICAR Agriculture Technology Application Research Institute, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. And as we all know that Singh sir considered as a key personality at national level in the specifically social science. Sir presently Director of Aisha Atari Jabalpur, and he had taught in ARS in 1999 and started his career as a scientist agriculture extension at ICAR VPKS Almora, Uttarakhand. And sir has obtained his bachelor degree in agriculture from the Institute of Agriculture Science, Banaras Hindu University, BHU Varanasi, and then he completed his master and doctorate in dairy extension at National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, Haryana. And sir received merit scholarship throughout its entire academic period. And sir is recipient of the 12 awards, including SC Fellow Awards, ISIS Fellow Award, Best Mobilizer Award, Best Extension Award, then Best Extension Professional Award, 3 Young Scientist Award, Agriculture Today Award 2021, along with the Dr. Vasantrao Naik Award for the Outstanding Research and Application in Dryland Farming in 2021 from the ICAR. He has published more than 130 research articles, including 105 articles in national and 25 in international reputed journals. Beside his 18 books, 53 bulletins, and 16 book chapters are also in his credit. Presently, sir is engaged in research and extension with the KVK system of ICAR in central and eastern India. And sir has been instrumental in initiating and implementing the concept like KVK KMA, and all the participants who are joining in this training and belong from the KVK, they know how the importance of this KVK KMA, KVK Ring, KVK Technology Park, KVK Atma, Converge Model, Methodological Initiative for the Extension Research, NutriSmart Village, Agripreneurship. These all are the key methodology that helping for the dissemination of the information that belong from the research and agriculture university. Apart from that, sir has been member of the various important committees at ICAR and SAUs, like member of the Extension Council, RBL, CAU, Jhansi, member of the Academic Council, and the VSU, Jabalpur. And in the final conclusion, sir has more than 24 years experience in the field of the agriculture extension. And it is with a great pleasure for me to introduce sir to all the participants today, and requesting you, sir, for the sharing the knowledge with the participants that ultimately helping for the betterment of the society. So if it is possible, share your presentation and start. Here we are going to start the presentation.
Sir, to resolve हुआ sir?
अंकुर नहीं, ये repeatedly करा join from browser and I am joining from browser by ID and password.
आप मुझे अपना प्रेजेंटेशन भेजिए, जैसा अभी कुलपति जी बोल रहे थे, आप मुझे भेजिए, मैं डॉक्टर लाठिया जी को भेज देता हूँ. ही इज आल्सो ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी फ्रॉम जेयू जूनागढ़. वो शेयर करेंगे सर.
ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. किस मेल पे भेजूं आप बताओ, जो भेज दो.
जी मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप कर रहा हूँ सर, ankur.rvs के वीवी. मैं आपको अभी मेल व्हाट्सएप पे लिख रहा हूँ सर.
व्हाट्सएप कर दे तुरंत, हम अभी जस्ट व्हाट्सएप.
जी मैंने व्हाट्सएप पे हाँ कर दीजिए सर, आपको जैसा अच्छा लगे सर.
वो 19.4 वो है, ठीक है.
जी मैंने ईमेल भी आपको कर दिया है. ईमेल मतलब व्हाट्सएप पे आपको ईमेल टाइप कर दिया है अपना.
Just guide me, sir. I will do it. Your presentation.
Okay, no problem.
इससे ये है कि सर आप मोबाइल से ज्वाइन करते रहेंगे, हम उसको मूव करते रहेंगे तो चीजें चलती रहेंगी.
राइट, ठीक, ये ज्यादा अच्छा है ना.
जी
मुझे डायरेक्टली अदरवाइज व्हाट्सएप, अदरवाइज यहाँ पे मेल में.
जी लाठिया साहब, मैं आपको तुरंत भेज दूंगा सर.
मेल ही मैं कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि बड़ी फाइल है ना, व्हाट्सएप पे दिक्कत करेगी खोलने में.
जी ऐसा कर दीजिए सर. ठीक है.
मिनट यू आर गेटिंग मेल.
जी ठीक है. थैंक यू. भेजा है सर पीपीटी आपने? आ गया।
हाँ भेज दिया, अब देख
जी 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 सर, जी सर,
प्लीज चेक।
जी जी। लाठिया साहब, मैंने आपको भेज दिया।
Okay, I will collect it and then share.
Yeah, friends, meanwhile, as already you got my introduction, and you know technical development is one process, and technology dissemination another, and adoption is third process. So KBK system is the bridging between the research and the client system, and it's not directly transfer of technology mechanism doing, but rather it's the showcasing the technology, and moreover just their KVKs are doing the frontline extension. When we talk frontline extension, it pertains that scientists are directly involved in the technology dissemination process, and they just show the successful models, appropriate technology among the client system, and then ultimately they motivate the clients to go for its application, go for its performance evaluation, and if satisfied they can go for the full level adoption, and so that they can harvest the benefits of the technology. Let me make wish to our honorable vice chancellor Shukla sir. Good evening sir.
सर अभी टेलीफोन आ गया किसी का, तो सर अभी वो लेफ्ट कर गए हैं सर, अभी वो ज्वाइन करेंगे जी।
ठीक है, जैसा मैं बात कर रहा था आप लोगों से कि जनरली वी आर मोर फोकसिंग ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजी जनरेशन, that's most of the research system, but in my view, and you will also be agreed that likewise research, technology dissemination and extension is equally important, and so we must give the proper attention and budgeting and the proper research methodology, that how our client can get the appropriate technology, need-based technology situation, and their resource fit technology, so that they can use it as per their need, as per their resource matching and resource availability in their condition.
Sir, is visible? Is it?
Yeah, it's visible to me.
Just tell me, sir, whenever you want to go to next. Sir.
Okay. As you know that the training topic is very broad and very concurrent, that agriculture in future and future in agriculture. So friends, first I will deal with their issues, that agriculture in future. So you know that climate changing is the natural process, and we have to be ready that how we can cope up with the changing climatic scenario, at the temperature or humidity or other wind velocity and etc. But major are the temperature and humidity, rainfall. So and then further, if farmers or anybody has produced something, so marketing is another issue. So these two aspects, one is the agriculture in future, and then second part is the future in agriculture. Unless we market it, unless we gain the single penny from our works, then how we will continue the farming? So you can go through so many reports that farmers are now wish to leave the farming if they get any chance to do some other works. So next. Yeah, friends, in this context, as you know that year wise, if you see the contribution of agriculture in GDP is decreasing, and likewise gross value added products also, it's decreasing. So it's a debatable issue that whether it's right or wrong, but just we should know that if it's decreasing, definitely we have to think the other sectors, whether it's compensated, our workforce are being compensated by other sectors for employment and income or not. Otherwise, definitely an unbalanced situation may come. And Indian agriculture is dominated by the small holdings. We know very well. And if you see the situation, it's further sunken. Within 5 years, also you can see the situation is worsening further. So land holding size just it's one of the barriers when we talk of the scale of the technology adoption or scale of technology application or visibility of technological impact. So definitely it works like a barrier if holdings are being divided day by day. And growing population, definitely that's one of the reason how it's being divided within family or between families. And in future, we have to take care of the changing climatic scenario, technology fatigue among the farmers or among the researchers, then malnutrition, then over exploitation of natural resources, costing is increasing day by day, and the magnitude of food loss and wastage. Definitely, it's also one of the matter of concern we have to take when we talk for the productivity or the farmers' income. And the unpredictable market forces, which is the further increasing the vulnerability among the farmers. When farmer produce is ready, you might have know the price of tomato or potato or onion or even wheat or sometimes pulses. So when it's with the farmers, definitely price is very low, and once it comes to the market, price goes up, and ultimately consumers are in loss that they are paying much, but it's not going to the farmers' share, rather it's going to the market share. Though we are not much concerned as a researcher, but definitely it's a matter of concern because we are much concerned with the client system. Unless our client system are being stronger enough to get the income and other aspect, other support, empowerment, so how they will ready to take risk or how they will ready to take the latest technology which we are generating. And if we see the further worsening condition in the rain-fed agriculture, things are further different from the irrigated condition, because here the variety, here the potential of the variety and all other aspects, it definitely works further new barriers among the farming community, that how they have to survive with these kind of agriculture and how they will survive in the market also if they are not getting the sufficient income from their farming. So that's why we have to think very seriously that in future what will be the scenario of agriculture and what is the future in the coming agriculture. And we are dealing with the KVK farm science centers, and at present we are having 82, and these are the hosts which are coordinating these KVK for the achieving the goals of the ICAR and national food security. So first I must discuss with you the climate change scenario in India. If you see the different reports, then by 2050, the temperature increase may be by 1.1 to 6.4 degrees centigrade, one of the projections. And along with temperature, rainfall will also increase. So these two things are will not be much supportive in the practicing agriculture. Rather, this will further add as a problematic situation, as a vulnerability, and as the farmers and farming community has to be very careful how to deal with this, and we have to be more alert and cautious that how we will support our farmers, our farming situation to cope with the changing climatic scenario in after 25 years or 30 years. And what will be the impact of all this? So definitely after increasing the rainfall and temperature, the productivity of the crops, animals, fisheries, or whatever things we are practicing in the field condition or real field condition, definitely there will be a drastic change in their productivity and all other critical stages of the crops or the animal, and it's a adverse and severe impact maybe. And then if further elaborate, then we can see that there is a wide effect on all sectors in all countries if the sea level rise due to high temperature and the precipitation increase due to the high rainfall. Change slides. Hello, Rathia ji. Next.
Okay, okay.
जी
okay. I
जी
did.
सर
Next.
Is it showing, sir? Next, I did it.
No, it's not showing. Just it's state wise. After that, you just make one change.
Okay. This one?
Yeah. This also I have dealt. Next.
Okay.
Yeah,
This one.
impact will be the severe and widespread, and because the increase in both rainfall and temperature, this has a different effect. Next. Yeah, if we see that there is change in climate both in the rainfall and temperature, this has the this may have visible impact on all sectors in all countries. How it will impact, we can discuss further, elaborate among you that its impact on health condition of the human being, weather related mortality or much infectious disease, and the air quality, which will affect the respiratory system, and that ultimately go for the illness. And on agriculture, if we see, then definitely crop yields will be decreased, and irrigation demands may not just back. Yeah, on this slide. And if we see the impact of changing climate on forest, then forest composition will be changed, and the geographical range of the forest, definitely that will also be compromised, and the forest health and overall productivity, that will be also questionable, that how it will behave, how forest will behave on the such harsh changing climatic scenario. And if we see the impact on the water resource, then definitely water supply will be on the threats, and the quality of water, that will also, and the competition for water availability among country, that may be one of the issue, and it may lead in future to the next world war if water condition will be the challenging among the country, availability as well as the quality. And if we see particular impact on coastal areas, then definitely erosion of beaches, where at present we are enjoying, and the inundation of the coastal lands, the nearby coastal lands, that may be further inundated, and farmers and other even tourism may affect severely, and we have to then invest much to say protect these coastal communities, which present they are just using these lands. And then the overall species of the animals and plants in the natural area, we may have the loss of habitats and the many species. Next. So now we can see that what are the causes of an impact of climate change. Agriculture and allied sector, particularly as we are dealing with the agriculture. So whatever we are doing, definitely we are emission of CO2 or methane or N2 or other gases, and what it will lead, definitely it will lead to droughts, flood, cyclones, or more heat waves and cold waves, or coastal inundation. These will be the impact, and how it will affect us. As I pointed out earlier also, that loss of crop yield and horticulture crops, then reduced livestock productivity, then reduced fish production, and all other sectors. And then further it may lead to the impact on our food security or nutritional security, and then rural livelihoods will also be severely affected and impacted due to the much climate change. Then if we see overall basis, then on production there will be reduced crop yield, particularly if we talk in South Asian region, and then soil may become more drier, and further it may lead to the productivity of the crops or other things we practice using the soils. And then irrigation, then more demand for the irrigation, and reduce supply. So ultimately both will increase the cost of the cultivation among the farmers. And then if we see the pests, then the increased range and populations, that will be one of the factors which affects our agriculture. Then livestock, if we talk. Yeah, Dr. Kunjang. हेलो.
डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशन बाद में होगा, कृपया जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं अपने डाउट बाद में पूछिएगा, अभी हैंड रेज मत करिएगा प्लीज, अभी सेशन को चलने दीजिएगा कंटिन्यू. सर आप काइंडली आप कंटिन्यू करें सर.
Okay, okay. They can note down and then we will discuss. We will have the discussion session. There is not an issue. Okay. And then if along with livestock increase diseases and heat stress, you know, heat stress is very detrimental for the health condition, whether it's in milk or in dry condition, but ultimately health is being compromised if there is heat stress to the animals and human being both. And then fishery also, their abundance and the spawning, these two things will be compromised, and overall economic impact will be in the form of reduced agricultural output. And then if we talk that in 2020 scenario, then the productions reduction is, it's a earlier report that by this year production reduction 6%, 4%, and 4% in the rice, wheat, and the mustard crop. And it is it was realized due to the changed climatic. So you're seeing by the photographs that how the temperature increase has affected, particularly in even irrigated condition. And then if we see the impact of climate change on livestock, then there is physiological changes, then less milk production, then ultimately decreased feed intake, and then environmental changes, destruction of the grazing grasses. So ultimately, we are losing the productivity, and however, we are just increasing the investment. Cost is increasing, but output is decreasing due to the climate change on livestock. So what we have to do? What will be the key strategy that how we can cope up with climate change, and what will be the adaptation strategy? So regarding this, we can see that we have to include more and more new technology, then multi-stakeholder involvement, that we must involve the other stakeholders so that particular support system could be generated at the farming community level, and they can adopt this new technology, they can use this new technology, they can apply this new technology to save their crops. And then most important that synergy among programs. There are several programs of central government and state government, but still there is no synergy. So beneficiaries are getting the support, but they are getting in piecemeal, they are not getting in synergistic manner so that they can protect their crops or animals or fish or other livestock in the well on time. And then further, if we further classify it that in which sector what we can do for the mitigation and adaptation strategy. And then for water management, what we can do, as we know that micro irrigation system already we have invested, and these are the energy based things. But first we have to see that how we can reduce our cost of cultivation without investing any rupees. So in that condition, water saving rice system, as you know that direct seeded rice, one of the options. If we are going for the transplanted, then definitely we can go for the SRI, which is less water requiring. Then rainwater harvesting, we have to focus much. Farm ponds we can make as per the land availability and the types of crops we are going. And then second strategy, we have to have the diversification and crop based diversion. We have to go for the more tolerant crops or cropping systems. Then we can make legume intercrops so that risk could be minimized. Then further we can have the relay cropping so that the risk could be shifted on the other crops also. If first crop fails or first crop there is a reduced yield, then we can compensate by the another crop. Then some of the cover crops so that the evapotranspiration could be reduced, and we can have the conserve the moisture whatever we have through the irrigation or through the in situ moisture we have in our soil condition. And horticulture and agroforestry, we must emphasize on these also along with the field crops. And integrated farming system is one of the best models being now promoted so that farmers can save their resources, can manage their resources through more productivity and more income. Then if in fishery sector, we have to concentrate on how to manage the farm gate feeds and then better oxidations and then water quality. Then farm mechanization, we have to have the mechanized system from the community support or from the government support or the FPO, we can use it. And then solar system, we can have regenerative energy, and then smallholders, machines or gender sensitive tools and techniques and custom hiring centers, those could be used so we can get the timely operations being done, because we know that the sowing window is very limited and we have all farmers have to complete their operations within that window. And if we talk about the livestock and poultry, we have to use more and more and promote tolerant breeds of the poultry or even livestock in their situation. It is highly location specific. And then providing the green fodder to the animals so that they can have better immune system, and then feed mixtures so that their digestive system could be proper and we can get the proper productivity from them. And shelter management, it's one of the challenging issues in the rural area, particularly because farmers are hesitant to invest on the shelter, and that also affect the productivity of the both livestock and poultry. And then quality water and timely vaccination. So for the livestock and poultry sector, we have to take care on these aspects. And if we talk about the soil nutrient management, then definitely we can go for the conservation agriculture, sustainable soil nutrition management. Then we can use the soil health cards, then neem coated urea so that urea leaching could be reduced. Foliar nutrition and use of biochar, residue recycling. We can use biodecomposers nowadays so that we can recycle our farm residues and we can have the more organic matters in our soil. And then biogas so that we can use biogas slurry also in the crops for better composting, as well as we can use the gas of unnecessary. It will otherwise it will increase the climate changing scenario. Next. Yeah. Then if we go for the livestock sector, then how we can reduce the methane emission, because it's one of the sector where we can if we can check, then the climate change could be adaptation could be met out. So for that we can go for the concentrate feeding or wild cake. We can give cereal, grains, fodder cultivation. But nowadays, as you know, that fodder cultivation area are being reduced and more area are being used for the food grain production by the farmers. So but somewhere we have to think about it. And then tree leaves as a green fodder, and then silage during the lean period when there is no green fodder, we can have the silage preparation. We can support our farmers through silage preparation so that they can support their animals with proper feeding. Next. Then what is the agriculture in future? So how we will achieve all these adaptation and mitigation strategy? I talk about the agriculture or fishery or poultry or dairy or any other sector. So definitely we should go with the convergence KVK, Atma department and all and other even NGO, we should have the convergence, and through convergence we can work in the single direction with the joint efforts, with the joint action plan, and we can achieve the targets of the technology adoption, technology application, and the income generation, whatever we target for the. And this is the one of the model we have initiated it, we have implemented it, and this worked very well. This model particularly dealt with the 2.5 lakh farmers. One time we have consulted, we have motivated them, and ultimately we covered 26,551 villages in the Madhya Pradesh particularly, and this has supported the farmers in all the way through all departments and schemes and provisions of that scheme. KVK was the leading position to coordinate all these things, and district magistrate collector in before the collector and in his office all presentation were done, and all district line departments were involved to implement it. So it is one of the proven model. We can promote it in future also. Then the second question is the next. Despite having the food sufficiency and go downs filled, but definitely the nutrition is still one of the issue we are facing in India. For that also, we have introduced the NutriSmart villages and to promote the nutrition sensitive agriculture. And in that we have just given a slogan that jo ugaye wo khaye, jo khaye wo ugaye. Whatever you grow, you eat, and whatever you want to eat, you grow it, so that there should be no gap in the protein or vitamin or other minerals deficiency, because that's creating the nutritional security. Yes, food security we have achieved so much, but still nutrition is one of the areas. So we have conceptualized this NutriSmart village to meeting the nutritional requirement in that particular village, and this is the based on the scientific approach that grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Further, it emphasizes 4A, that awareness, availability, access, and affordability, because even people are aware, if foods are not available, nutri-dense foods are not available, then how they will take. One step further, we have introduced Nutri Thali, that how our thali should be educated with the all carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, minerals, and other required elements for our balanced diet. And it could be treated one of the mini lab where we precisely bringing the nutritional security through the available resources, nutritional literacy, motivation, and attitudinal change among our client system. And this could be practiced through the better nutrition garden or kitchen garden or roof garden, terrace garden, vertical garden, school garden, community garden, like that. Even community nutrition garden are also being promoted, and they are benefiting the people in all the way. Then in future agriculture, if we talk, so we can use much social media in the form of next. Yeah, social media platform is one of the now very good facility. आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ आ रही है सर, आ रही है.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, actually, social media platform are now being very beneficial for the farmers and all stakeholders in agriculture or other sectors also, because the farmers or other users can get the information timely, easily, and very cheaper. And the best benefits that there is no channel loss, which in any communication there is channel loss. Somebody tells someone, and definitely he will use his wisdom, and the people get the message distorted, or even sometimes meaning are being different. So we can promote our farmers or farming community or all stakeholders in society also that we can use this very scientifically as per our requirement of our farming or business or whatever vocation or enterprise we are practicing. And then in future, agriculture will be more focused on the secondary agriculture, because at present we are focusing much production, but once production is enough, then what next? They will get the sufficient income and employment unless only through the secondary agriculture. And agriculture could be basically divided in three: primary, secondary, and tertiary agriculture. For example, if we take the sugarcane, then the sugarcane production will be the primary sector, and then it go for the processing in the form of good or other sugar, then it will be the secondary sector. And if go for the ethanol and other things will be the byproduct. So you can classify. Next, you can classify it as a tertiary sector. So secondary agriculture seems to be one of the practical options how we can double the farmers income, or even triple the farmers income, or any entrepreneurs, if they wish that their income could be double, then they must go with the secondary agriculture and tertiary agriculture rather than the primary agriculture. Then what are the components, how we can proceed to a secondary agriculture? Then definitely first we have to go for the value addition primary agriculture production system, and then we have to have alternative enterprises, and then we have to much cautious to choose the enterprises based on the crop residue and waste, so that ultimately waste management, so that we can get the desired income. Next, if you see the paradigm in the secondary agriculture for doubling the farmers income or tripling the farmers income, then we have to follow all these indicators, that we have to increase in the crop productivity, then it will increase the cropping intensity, then it will increase the resource use efficiency, ultimately lead to the cost reduction in the cost, and then increase the livestock productivity, diversification of high value agriculture, then remove prices on the farmers' produce, then shift of surplus manpower from farm to non-farm sectors. So ultimately, we can complete the secondary agriculture cycle, and it will ultimately lead to the more income to the practitioners. Then how it could be implemented? Next, how it could be implemented strategically at the real-time farmers' condition. So in that we have to go for the promotion intensification in the crop sector, crop diversification towards the high value crops, then protected cultivation. We can go in the form of high-tech vegetable cultivation along with the plastic mulching, drip irrigation, etc. Then we can have the cost reduction also, because we have to go with the input saving. Input saving means seed, fertilizer, all agrochemicals, and other things, whatever we want to do. So we have to have the resource use efficiency, and which can lead to the input saving. And then simultaneously we have to go with the energy saving, cost saving, timely field operations through. Then after all these are the production side, then after production what we have to do, then post harvest management and other issues, that's also one of the areas where we excel. We have to train our farmers, we have to make the capacity building of the rural youth or the school dropouts and all other who wish to get income from the agriculture. So nowadays government is very supportive in formation of the FPO, SHG, and all other group-based activity. So we should motivate our, wherever we are working in agriculture and allied sector, we must motivate our farmers also to get the benefit of the FPOs, and they can go for the processing and post-harvest management, so that we can get more income. We can reap the benefit of the technology in real sense. For example, Mandla Organic brand they are promoting as FPO. Raj Vijay Sahar, also the KVK Morena and other KVKs are promoting their honey through this brand and supported by the university. And then and bottom you can see that how the mechanization, plastic mulching, and then drip irrigation, and then drippers, and then vegetables are being grown under the high technology condition. Then what are the drivers that how we can increase the farmers' income? Because agriculture in future, what are the future in agriculture? And definitely we have to go for the increase in the crop productivity, livestock productivity, resource efficiency, cropping intensity, high value agriculture, unitary price, and shift surplus manpower farm to non-farm occupations. And if we see the share of the various sources in doubling farmers' income, then you see the increase in productivity, one third contribution, and the rest 2/3 are being made by the reduction input cost or unitary price, then post harvest losses, and agriculture diversification, and then increase in area under cultivation. These are the sources and how farmers are double. Then the other aspect are the agripreneurship. Then what are the key aspects? Agri-entrepreneurship, we have to see the market opportunity and generating the business idea either through products or services, so that we can get the benefit of that, and marshalling and commitment of resources in the face of risk to pursue the opportunity, and then creation of an operating business organization to implement the opportunity motivated business idea. Then what are the areas of the agripreneurship development? You can have it in through input management or fertilizer, pesticides, or agriculture infrastructure, agro-based enterprises, agri-processing, value addition, value chain management, logistics management, marketing of agriculture products, produce, etc., and agri-marketing, agri-services, or even agri-tourism, one of the areas, emerging area where we can excel the agri-entrepreneurship development. And then what are the vocations where we can have the employment generation and income? So one of the emerging areas are the where there is future in agriculture, that we can have the beekeeping, and beekeeping has the double triple benefits. That one, you are getting the honey, then you are getting the honey wax, then you are getting the pollens, then you are getting the 20 to 30% additional increase in the production of the crop in where you are using the bee boxes. So it's a multiple benefit vocations, and the rural youths and other people could be trained, and they can get the vocations in beekeeping, and they can get the sufficient employment through beekeeping. And one of the just success story I can tell you that how KVK Morena has supported the beekeeping, and now the scenario from the 2 units to 470 units it has reached, and the income also multiplied in same proportion, and it has changed the scenario of the district. If you at present, if you see, then even more than 500 crores turnover is there through beekeeping, and people are traders are coming there, and they are purchasing, or just the after processing, their farmers are selling through their brands also. Next slide. Yeah. Then vermicomposting in the form of direct worms, or even worm selling, or vermibas and vermicompost, 3 areas where rural youth or a farmer can take this enterprise for their benefit, and they can get sufficient income with the limited investment. because all we are interconnected. Without worms, you can't convert and the residue, your crop or farm waste in the compost, and then vermibas is the another byproduct you can have. So just this is the one of the aspect where we can make the ecosystem service also. Otherwise, all these nitrogen based gases, they will be released to the environment, and ultimately the climate change will be the one of issues for in future. Then another vocation we can have in future, that mushroom production. One of the areas where we can excel, and there are basically 3 types of mushroom we are producing, as you know, that button mushroom, all of you know. But besides button, oyster and paddy straw mushroom, these 2 are the easier mushrooms, and farmers could be trained and they can go for it. And, there is sufficient market for raw mushroom or dried mushroom or processed or mushroom powder or even baby products. They are available now in market. So it's one of the areas where one can excel mushroom production and get the benefit in the limited area. And even corona period also, the KVK has supported, and the farmers were in 2 to 3 times more income rather than the normal period. Then spawn production, it's one of the area where we can train our people. Next. Yeah. So in mushroom, what we observe in field condition, that spawn production is one of the area where people are facing the problem. So I urge upon all of you that you can support your farmers in getting the training from the right places, and on community basis, you can have the spawn production unit through school dropouts on any educated youth who is seeking employment. So you can engage them, and a simple Florida or Sajar Kaju or whatever species liked in that area, it could be practiced, and you can get the sufficient income from the even a spawn production only rather than the for the mushroom production. And then lag cultivation, one of the area wherever there is forest or nearby forest, you can get the lag cultivation promoted. And nowadays, the system in lag cultivation has changed from the sporadic to the intensive cultivation, and Semialata plant, new species that has been promoted, and even people are growing it in the cultivated lands also with full irrigation, and they are getting the sufficient income from lag, and quality of lag is also improved through this rather than the traditional method on growing the lag on the kusum or palas or bear or other ficus species. So it's one of the emerging area. If people want to have the cultivated lag, they can have it. Then sericulture, though it's the year-old technology, but still there is much market demand for the silk and silk-based clothes. So we can have this, and we can make it scientifically. And before that, we can get the proper training from KVK or other places. There are the silk board and their centers, and one can guide their youth and farmers to get training, and they can get a sufficient income. And then cloths from the banana pseudo stem. This is one of the area where now our KVK and we are backing the farmers who are growing the banana, and after taking the fruit, just we were earlier throwing and making it compost, but nowadays we are getting the good fabric from these banana pseudo stem, and it's giving the sufficient income once we convert it in the high level of clothes, stem waste to fabric, particularly in koti or sari or whatever we make, then it can give the sufficient income. Next. And then organic farming, one of the area where now people are very health conscious, and they want that they should get the pure or chemical free food grains. So organic farming of purple rice and purple wheat with value addition is one of the area, and our FPO is working on that, and they are promoting through their brand, and they are getting sufficient income. If you see the gross income from rice, it's 1,60,000, and from wheat they are getting 87,000. So it's a sufficient from the 1 hectare, and one can choose this vocation and go for the even food outlet also to make complete the chain from farm to fork. Next. Then livelihood security through Karaknath farming in our central estates. So Karaknath, as you know, that this is the niche breed of the Jhabua and Alirajpur belt of the tribal, and this is one of the wild breed, but it has been so many advantages because it has high nutrition, protein content higher than all other chickens, high protein, low fat, and further the low cholesterol. So definitely it's one of the, it's like the medicine, and our KVK are promoting it, and now we have just reached up to 22 estates and 170 districts in India, and the demand is increasing day by day. So it's the one of the promising and premium breed, poultry breed, and you can promote it as per requirement in your area. And then one of the example I would like to cite you that how Mandla Organic is promoting the farmers' produce, small rather than smallholders' produce through FPO, and they are supporting them farmers, tribal farmers, through their market network. Next. And then one of the Kodo Kutki Growers and Processor Federation. One example, just I would like to cite you that how this was started in 2012, and now even they have crossed 1 crore. So this is the one of the successful project implementation, and how the women were motivated and they were made the membership, and they have contributed in the growth of this FPO, and they got the prestigious awards, and still they are continuing to get new members, and growing the vegetables and other millets, other items suitable to the tribal area, and they are supplying to the metros. Next. Makhana cultivation is one of the coming area where you can get the 25 to 30 quintal yield from 1 hectare water area if you have, and it gives 250 times more profit than any kharif rice crop. Particularly, we have taken an example of Chhattisgarh. So it's one of the promising area in future. One can see it, one can get training, and they can go for the makhana cultivation as a sole crop in the water area, or even the intercrop with the rice also. It's a foxnut, and it's the seeds are available. One can go for practicing it. Then the kharif onion, it's the one of the diversified crop that has introduced, and now you can see the impact of this particular kharif onion, that the price of onion is being balanced in the market due to the introduction of kharif onion, and just after scarcity of this kharif onion, again the onion price has increased. So sufficient yield and the market price, farmers could be motivated and they can go for it. There is simple technology, nothing more than that. And it has if you see 2-3 districts only, you can see the picture that how the returns are very promising, and the farmers are harvesting sufficient income. So we can give focus on this if it suits to the your production condition. Next. Then further, I would like to introduce Kisan Sarthi among you all who were listening me, that it's one of the two-way interface introduced by the ICAR nowadays, and the farmers are being registered on this by the KVKs, and whatever question the farmers will ask in any language, more than 22 languages now they have given it, and they will get their conversation recorded, and it will be visited by our office also, and any other level they have given that what conversation were done, whether client were satisfied or not, because earlier we are just sending the messaging and that was not sufficient, that whether the farmers has got it, use it, or what the kind of benefit. But now the Kisan Sarthi, this is the two-way, and even video system is also there. So in our zone now we have crossed the 33 lakhs registration. Next. Then finally conclusion. Definitely in the global changing climatic scenario, we have to see our science and technology domain seriously, and what kind of technological intervention we can do. We must do it to sustain the agriculture development in the region, because climate change will affect the Indian population. 2/3 of population will be directly or indirectly associated, and definitely it will be the crisis, even food crisis will be there if we will not address it properly. So we have to think over it, not only mitigation but much adaptation strategy also, so that long-term approach we can do it, and it can sustain our agriculture system as well as agri-food systems. So what in future next? Yeah, what way forward we have to do? So now we have to, along with the commercial farming, traditional farming, we have to think organic, natural, or farming or green agriculture, that how we will practice our agriculture so that it should not be a contributory to the environmental degradation or pollution, rather than it can add some value to our environmental conditions. So, and further, not only the quantity of the produce but quality of the produce or product, whatever being prepared and sending to the market. And in that, the issue of residues or effluents, contamination, pest load, and traceability, these are the issues particularly adhere with the quality. When we go for the export, all these come in picture, but in domestic market we are not taking care much. So we have to be much careful in future agriculture. And then group approach, the single farmers will not be able to cope up with the climate and market vulnerability. So definitely they must go with the group, whether in form of SHG, FIG, FPC, or FPO, whatever it may be. And if we really concentrate on the enhancing the farmers' incomes, then we have to think for the approach, whether traditional or professional. And for marketing point of view, I can tell you that we have to search the viable enterprise, and particularly the agroclimatic situation suitable to that enterprise for harnessing the higher benefit from that vocations. And then marketing, we have to sensitize our farmers, we have to increase the literacy, we have to make the attitudinal change so that they can be tuned to the market also, rather than only production. And branding and quality standards, one of the areas we have to be make capacity building of the all stakeholders. And knowledge and skill upgradation, it's a required on regular basis for the secondary agriculture, which is need for the future. And that for that also we have to have the strong extension system, and with the proper strategy we can address the farmers. And then in agripreneurship we have to make more professionalism and commercialization, along with the supporting all the agriculture practices by the government or by the society and by the community. So finally, what is the difference between the businessman and entrepreneur? So businessmen always think that they can get something on regular basis, but entrepreneur think differently, and they think that how they can make one idea which can give the extraordinary income and on the long term basis. They just do not satisfy with the small income. So this is the basic difference, that businessmen always concentrate on the profits, but entrepreneur concentrate on the creativity and hard work to make the big business. Thank you. And finally, we want to make the KVK as agro technology hub, where you can get all kind of technology, methodology, processes, products at the single stop, and you can start new business as per your requirement. Thank you very much.
यदि किसी के डाउट्स हैं तो चैट बॉक्स पे पूछ सकते हैं, वैलिड डाउट्स। ठीक है, किसी के अगर वैलिड डाउट्स हैं, अगर कुछ पूछना चाहता है इस लेक्चर से रिलेटेड। कल की तरह जब एग्रीकल्चर कमिश्नर साहब बोल रहे थे तो पता नहीं आप कहाँ की चीजें जो है कि केवल एग्रीकल्चर कमिश्नर साहब ही उसको निपटाएंगे। तो वैलिड डाउट्स जो है आप पूछ सकते हैं लेक्चर के। प्लीज, चैट बॉक्स ओपन है, ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स।
Dr. Kujang, he has raised hands in initial. Where he is?
यदि किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप चैट बॉक्स में टाइप करिए, मैं बोल दूंगा। सर भी देख रहे हैं डायरेक्टली। Namaste sir, thanks for excellent lecture. We shall be highly obliged if PPT lecture notes is shared among participants. Thanks.
Thank you. One has raised. Sir, actually the slides were not moving at that time. Okay. Okay. One has raised why agro-tourism was not being promoted in India. One has asked that natural farming is sustainable or not. Friends, two questions I got. One has asked that why agro-tourism is not being promoted. You know that agro-tourism is being promoted, but most of the tourist place at present it's attracted at tourist place rather than the common places. But in future, definitely you will get that most of the places get the kind of agro-tourism in future, but we have to wait, because at present we are more attracted to the hotels and other places to make expenditure. We do not want to go for the hut or even farmers condition, but agro-tourism is that whatever farmers have, definitely we have to support them. Yeah, second, in natural farming is sustainable or not. So see, sustainability has 4-5 dimensions, and natural farming, as we are not investing much, so sustainability is not matter of question. Question is that how far we should use the natural farming in Indian conditions so that food and nutritional security should not be compromised. That's why government is still in initial stage, and we are also asking all of you that we are in the trial stage, and we should see the sustainability in our condition. What? Yeah, K. Dinesh Babu, zero budget farming. Okay. So sustainability still in future we will be able to tell you that what is the sustainability index of the natural farming. At present, whatever we are doing, we are investing much, so economically it's viable. But as yield reduction is being reported, so food crisis may come. That's why government is not implementing it. Yeah, one has asked that. One has asked that difference between organic and natural farming. See, natural farming at present, we have to go only with the Bijamrit, Jivamrit, Ghanjivamrit, and these Barmas, Tagnyas, all these 7 component and Vaspa. But organic farming, we have to use the organic matter, that's all. So organic farming has a broader area at present, but natural farming has limited. We should not use any chemicals, anything other than these prescribed materials. At present, that's the difference between the natural farming and organic farming. Yeah, Saurabh Sharma has asked that for a small farmer village, which farming is profitable, organic farming? It will depend on the market, that how you can market it. So whatever product you can market, you can go for the organic farming or natural farming, because consumer has no differentiation which product it is. Is there any successful model available which how to improve farmers' income in sustainable agriculture? In sustainable agriculture, we can increase the farmers' income. For that, we have to see the component where we can excel, and so that the sustainability couldn't compromised, and at the same time income could be increased. Agriculture and fishery, fish, rice and fish system is there, but it's not prevalent in all areas, and fish species, very limited species, they can grow on the limited time. Yeah, one has asked that why Indian farmers are skeptical about adopting organic farming or novel farming methods. No, it's not skeptical, rather than they are waiting for the good results. Once you showcase the good results, they are adopting both, whether you are showing the organic farming or you are showing the novel farming or natural farming, whatever farming name you call. Once you showcase the proper, and there's a matter of profit. If farmers are getting profit, they will adopt. If they are not getting profit, they will not adopt. Very simple.
So I think
Opinion about zero budget farming. One last, I think, K. Dinesh Babu, what opinion about the zero budget farming? Actually, in my opinion, nothing is zero budget farming. Budget is there, but yeah, it's definitely in natural farming. Earlier, it was called zero budget natural farming, but now it has been translated as a natural farming, where there is nothing like zero budget. Zero budget is not possible in farming, because you start any operation, you need some budget. So be very clear, it's not zero budget, rather it's the low budget or limited budget, we can. Earlier it has named, but now they are also correcting it, and we are calling it the natural farming directly, rather than the zero budget farming.
I think, sir, almost you completed all the queries.
Yeah, one Nazir Hussain from the Ladakh. There is a complaint of wild earthworm in agriculture field there in Ladakh, which make the soil survey become hard pen. Any suggestions? Yeah, actually, for wild earthworm are there, but ultimately we have to have the crop, some selection of crops, so that the soil physical condition could be improved. Because these wild earthworm have same nature in whether it plains or hills, but as hills their soil depth is less, so definitely they are being problematic rather than the helping the farming. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. We are extremely thank you, sir, for the rectifying or the responding to all the queries. And again, we are thankful or grateful to you for the valuable, very informative lecture. And on behalf of the RUSKV Gwalior, JU Junagadh, ICRISAT Hyderabad, and Academic Foundation, we are grateful to you, sir, for the accepting our invitation and delivering this wonderful talk. Thank you once again, sir, for delivering.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, मेरे आह्वान पर आपने लेक्चर दिया, हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को अपने एक्सपर्टीज से जो है लाभान्वित किया. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
गुड नाइट.
Thanks, sir.